Hello everyone to the very first Redstone guide video. This video and other ones after it are going to be working to get you guys up to speed on Redstone, how does it interact with different objects in Minecraft, and how can we use it to make some really cool and complicated traps and puzzles. So this break, I have been adding a whole new section to our main town. And inside of it is going to be a lot of examples on how to do things. In this video we're going to start with the wiring, and we're going to talk about the very first example, which is the redstone wiring. So redstone by itself, when you put it down, leaves these kind of lines. And redstone is best referred to as a wire. So it connects a switch to another object and lets that switch, or whatever power source you have, give it power. So think of it just like this is our battery and this is our toy. And when we put the batteries in, we power up our toy. And if we take the batteries out, we power down our toy. So redstone can basically be connected in any which way it goes, and there's a lot of different power sources that we'll be talking about next. But let's look at the very first couple simple objects that redstone can interact with. Alright, so we turn on our thing, and the first thing we have is a powered rail. Now a powered rail means that if a minecart goes over this rail, it'll get a big boost in speed. And so these are used so that you don't have to keep holding forward and going slowly down the rail track. You put these in every 8 or so rail tracks, and you don't even have to push a button. Your rail cart will just keep going all by itself down the track. You just have to remember that you do have to provide power. If the power is off, this is just a normal rail track, and you have to keep moving yourself. The next thing is a gate. So when you make gates and other things for your animals to live in, or just to make your house a little bit prettier, redstone, when power is applied, will open up the gate doors. And when power is removed, it'll shut them automatically. Now pistons, and sticky pistons specifically, will be used a lot in the future. We use these all the time for trap doors, for hidden pathways, all sorts of things. That's just a really useful thing. I think one of our students even already used it for an automated gardening system, where it would push out blocks to break the vegetables that were growing and automatically harvest them. So it was really cool. So again, the switch, the piston goes up when there's power, and comes back down when there's no power. So very useful to know. Now the next one is a redstone lamp. Turns on when there's power, turns off when there's no power. These are always great for when you're trying to just test your circuit and try to figure out how it's going to work. Redstone lamps are going to be used all the time. Now a note block, it's a little bit hard to hear because there's so many other things going on, but you'll see the little musical note go up above it, so that means it's making noise. And remember, you can always set note blocks by right clicking on them to different notes. So we're going to put up the red note, and then we're going to power it on, and we see we got the red note. So you can make all sorts of musical contraptions and all sorts of things. People make huge elaborate clock systems that will play music using just note blocks and some redstone stuff. So it's pretty interesting. Iron doors. So a normal door that's wooden, anybody can just walk over to and open. But an iron door, you can't open it with just your right clicking. You have to provide power. So right now it's closed, and when we provide power, the door swings open. So this is the great way to have a puzzle, so that they can only open that door if they solve the puzzle, because by solving the puzzle they'll have provided power somehow to that door. And the similar idea is the iron trapdoors. Again, the wooden trapdoor anybody can open just by right clicking. The iron trapdoors are only openable when power is provided. Alright, so there we go. So that's the basic idea behind it. Now you'll notice I have two redstone lamps over here that are not lit up, even though I have power going down the line. Now this is because for every power source in Minecraft, they all can only send power a maximum of about 15 redstone squares. And you can tell if a line has power, the closer it is to a power source, the brighter it is. And then as you get further away, you'll see it gets a little bit dimmer, but you still have the little kind of smoke marks. The little smoke marks are saying, hey, I'm providing power, I've got power. And if I put down a thing. Oh, no. Okay. I have to be a little bit more precise with it. Let's see if I can do it here. No. I have to drive the redstone in there. But right now, this is the farthest it can go. If I put it right here, we get power. That's as far as it will go. You have to then put in a repeater or some other thing to go in that direction. Now, note that it's 15 lines in a kind of not exactly, if you hard to say, it's 15 from that power source, regardless of how much you wiggle and go around and such. That even if you made a squiggly line going back and forth like this, you know, it's still not going to lose power so much until you get all the way at the maximum distance. So you can see it goes almost the same distance, even though it's cutting over and going this long path. Think of it as the power source is the center of a circle, and the power is 15 points away from that center of the circle. That's the best idea I can give you. For the most part, you won't really worry too much. If you run out of power, there's a very simple device called a repeater that you'll use that will help you get more power further down and let you use a single power source to power something, you know, 100 blocks away. So there's plenty of ways to get around this issue, but it's always important to remember that sometimes if you're working on something and it's not working, check to see that there's power, because I've spent hours sometimes working on a really complicated circuit, and then I realized, you know, the one thing I was trying to power was right here, and there was no power to it, even though it looked like I had power because this was powered up. So that's our first video on the redstone wiring, and the next video will be covering over the objects that you can use to generate power. Alright, I will hope to see you soon in the next video.